I'm sorry. Okay. Bonjour, I am back and I am here with both a sad and happy video put together. Before I get started, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more of my thoughts. So my mom is in a Facebook group of parents of kids with disabilities, and a few weeks ago she saw a message from a mom who was very worried because her 3-year-old often played by himself because his disability made it hard for him to keep up with other kids. She seemed very concerned about what his life would look like in the future and basically was concerned that her son would be isolated his whole life. So my video today hopefully will ease some parents' worries about their children. So first, on the topic of being isolated, I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's probably going to be really hard and frustrating at times, and I'm going to share a few personal things that are a little bit hard for me to talk about. From kindergarten to 6th grade, I experienced a phenomenon I like to call the puppy effect. The puppy effect is what happens when a little child, normally with a disability, attracts a lot of attention, like when kids see a cute puppy. I've experienced this, and so has my 9-year-old brother, who has Down syndrome. I always had this huge group of girls who would follow me around, and I would have to create these rotations so that everyone could have a turn. But just to clarify, the puppy effect gives you an entourage of people, not necessarily friends. So it's not really the same thing as popularity. But you know how everyone says that middle school sucks? For me, it was extra terrible. So after going through the puppy effect through most of school, things completely turned upside down in 7th grade. The same kinds of people that had always been chomping at the bit to walk me to class didn't want to do it because it wasn't cool anymore, and the ones who kept doing it wanted to be able to leave from class early and arrive late. I had bullies that didn't exactly bully me because of my CP, but they did bully me after I called them out for being toxic friends. I've had several toxic friendships, but those things are obviously in my past. In addition to just being around people that were not so nice, I was in a middle school with 800 students in 2 grades. I obviously was a slow walker, and because I'm very short, it was easy for people not to notice me and bowl me over. One particular fond memory was when I was walking to class and 4 giant 8th grade boys ran around a corner and ran into me so fast that I actually flew backwards a foot or 2. And another thing that should have seemed impossible in such a large school. Most of the time, I had to walk to class alone. When I had gotten rid of the helpers who wanted to share in the accommodations I had, I spent most of my time in isolation at school. I took the elevator alone, I left class early alone, I took special shortcuts through the middle of the school alone, and at lunch and break, I was the last one to arrive, so I had to sit around people that I didn't know that well, and I probably wouldn't have chosen to sit with them. So that also made middle school not very enjoyable for me. But there's a but, because this isn't supposed to scare anyone. The point of this is to make this as proof that everything really does get better. After the crap I went through in 7th grade, I did virtual school. I spent most of the time at my house, away from bullies and toxic friends, but I still did band for an hour at my old middle school, I swam on the high school team, and I did theater where I had some other friends. So I didn't become a total hermit either. It was not hopeless. It got better and I had no more problems. And then things got even better. A new, small Catholic college prep high school opened near my house. So my mom dragged my family to go visit and talk to the admissions lady on our Veterans Day break when the Catholic high schools didn't have a break. None of us were happy, but we got into the car and agreed to go because Mom said so. The lady told us all about how the school worked, and by the time she stopped, I was so excited. I wanted to transfer right then. When I got there the next year as a freshman, I was really nervous. I had gone through the same public school system since kindergarten and knew everyone at school, but at this new school, I knew maybe 3 people who also happened to come from the same public school. I'll never forget when I met the friends I have now. I was sitting by myself because meeting new people kind of makes me nervous. Then a few girls came over and sat with me. They introduced me to some of their friends, and then I had this whole inner circle of the greatest friends I could ask for. They're my besties and my soul sisters, and they all reacted so amazingly to my disability. They help me and always make sure I'm included in everything. Don't be scared of all these toxic friends and bullies I've had. Most kids will face that kind of thing, even able-bodied kids. This video is supposed to be reassuring, and I know I've talked for a long while now, but I can't emphasize enough how my life has changed since middle school because of my soul sisters. So if you're a parent who's worried about your child being isolated, it'll work out. Even if you have a few false starts, your true friends will be there when you need them, and those true friends won't let something like a disability get in their way. Your true friends will be willing to cram a wheelchair into their car or help you when you need something. There are people who will see past the disability and love you for you. So that's it. I know part of this may have seemed a little sad, but I also know some parents needed to hear all of this and needed some reassurance. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. And even if things seem rough right now, remind yourself that you're never truly alone. There are people that you can talk to and will understand. And heck, I read your comments. If you want somebody to talk to, you can send me a comment or even send me a message on Instagram. And most importantly, remember everything's gonna be okay. Hang in there. Bye!